try to be a negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. If we try to believe in anything greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult. If we try to be a negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult if we try to be a negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. If we try to believe in anything greater than a miracle, it wouldn't be this difficult if we try to be a negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah. Negative bull, yeah. We could be taking control, yeah.
We want them to tell us. It's long.
Hi，我们开始了，这就好。
Okay, thank you, JP, for the music. Can you please make sure that you're muted?
I got 8.
Okay, so Yelena, once you're ready.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you all for joining. I will start with the roll call right now. I hope you're all ready. Please remember only one official delegate per association to type a Y in the chat. ASEPA Algeria. I for Argentina. NAPS Australia. AFIP Austria. ASFA Benin. SAFBUM Bosnia and Herzegovina. CFAM BF Burkina Faso. CAPSI Canada. CAP UOB Democratic Republic of Congo. CAP UOB Democratic Republic of Congo. Are there any representatives from Congo? FECOF Costa Rica. CPSA Croatia. CZPSA Czech Republic. SOP Denmark. SOP Denmark. Are there any representatives from SOP Denmark? IPSF Egypt. TUPS Estonia. TUPS Estonia. FIPSA Finland. FIPSA Finland. Are there any representatives from Finland? ANEP France. BPHT Germany. GPSA Ghana. HUPSA Hungary. MAPS India. ISMA Farsi Indonesia. IPSA Iran. IPST Iraq. APS Japan. JPSA Jordan. JPSA Jordan. Are there any representatives from Jordan? CAPSA Kenya. CAPSA Kenya. Mexico will come up later. CAPSA Kenya, thank you. KNF's Republic of Korea. LPSA Lebanon. MyPSA Malaysia. AAP Mali. FEFAMEX Mexico. BPC Morocco. KNPSV the Netherlands. NZOPZO New Zealand. PANS Nigeria. PPHSF Pakistan. APEFIP Peru. APEFIP Peru. Are there any representatives from Peru? PPSA Poland. APEF Portugal. QFIS Qatar. QFIS Qatar. Are there any representatives from Qatar? FAS for Romania. RPSA Rwanda. NAPSA Serbia. NAPSA Sierra Leone. NUSPS Singapore. SPSA Slovakia. SSFD Slovenia. SSFD Slovenia. Are there any representatives from SSFD? FEF Spain. SNAP Sweden. ASEP Switzerland. TAPSA United Republic of Tanzania. TAPSA. Are there any representatives from TAPSA? Okay. PCAT Thailand. IFAT Togo. IFAT Togo. Are there any representatives from Togo? ATEP Tunisia. TPAYC Turkey. UPSA Uganda. UPSA Uganda. Are there any representatives from Uganda? BPSA United Kingdom. APHA ASP United States. And ZPSA Zimbabwe. Thank you. We have 51 for Uganda. Oh, no, I already have you. Okay, we have 51 full members present and voting.
Okay, thank you, Yelena. So I think that we don't have the system as sharing of screen is with Minjin. Can you confirm?
Pa nije odgovorio pre nego što je majka...
Okay. So Yelena, can you confirm? We're starting with the report first.
Yes, we're starting with the report of Minjun, and yeah, and then go on with.
Okay, if we can have the motion on the system so I can keep track. Meanwhile, can I ask for a proposer to resume the standing orders? Okay, proposed by IPST Iraq and seconded by AFAP Austria. We will proceed to voting. Please do not write anything on the chat box. All those against resuming the standing orders? Motion carried unanimously. So we will go to the motion of the report of the chairperson of the reception committee. I hope that you received the information from Yelena about the changes on the agenda. So we're posing the elections for some time until we finish with the report, and then we will proceed again with the election. So can I have the motion on the system, please? Okay, so we will now have the report of the chairperson of the reception committee of the 66th IPSF World Congress. Do we have Minjun with us?
Yes, hi.
Hello, Minjun.
So,
do you need this, right?
Yes, okay, I will start my report. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone in this GA room and to those who are watching this at live stream. I am Minjun, chairperson of the 66th IPSF World Congress 2019 and 2020. And I hope you all check my report in advance before the GA starts. On behalf of the reception committee of the IPSF World Congress, I would like to express my high appreciation to everyone in the Federation for the assistance and constant understanding that you have shown to us throughout this pandemic. Without your help and kind understanding, we RC would have not been able to manage our works and get through these difficulties that we have faced during the pandemic. As I mentioned in my report, the number of the registered participants were far beyond my expectation, and it implies that many members had expected. Okay, I think the organizer mute me. Okay, so as I mentioned in my report, the number of the registered participants were far beyond my expectation, and it implies that many members had expected to join the Congress so much, and it really motivated us. And our team also put our effort and time so much on preparing the event more than a year, and half of the 1 year and a half for the IPSF members. We worked on various education and youth programs, and moreover, more than 60,000 euros of sponsorship were confirmed. Personally, I was really excited and thrilled so much during my mandate. Even though we could not have a chance to have face-to-face education and cultural activities in Seoul, however, I believe this unexpected outbreak somehow have been teaching us many things. We collaborated, we cooperated, and we trusted and relied on each other than ever. We learned collaboration and cooperation with our global colleagues are so important to get through the difficult situation together. This is IPSF spirit. This is what makes our friendship even stronger than ever. So okay, let me finish my report, and I will be no longer able to serve the position because of my schoolwork, but I will definitely support and help incoming chairperson and her team as much as I can. But as soon as this COVID-19 gets okay, I'm definitely looking forward to meeting you guys personally. I hope it will be happen next year in Korea. Thank you once again, and especially all my IPSF team members, and especially EXCO friends, President-elect, Treasurer, Section, Internal and External Chairperson, 3P Chairperson, Student Exchange Person, Chairperson, MMP Chairperson, and all regional chairperson. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you so much, Minjin, for the presentation. I will now open the floor for discussion. If you have any points, please do use the Google form for that. I have the first point from PPSA United Kingdom. Please take the floor.
Bastian, BPSA United Kingdom. So as you know, the World Congress this year was a little bit more expensive than it usually is. And last year when we were asking questions during the report, we learned that about 60 rooms were paid for by to provide rooms for like speakers and the RC. And the RC team is quite big. Minjin, if you look at it retrospectively, do you feel like the RC team could be a little bit smaller and as a result make it more affordable for people to buy tickets? Or do you think that the RC size is just right for the World Congress? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your questions. And to answer your question, actually, we had around like 40 RC members in my team. We have RC total 40 members. And actually, I was discussing this matter with many advisors, including the former IPS EXCO members or some advisor as well. And they highly recommend us to have at least like 60 or 70 RC member because the number of expected participants will be around like 500 participants. And it is really quite difficult to manage those like 500 participants at the same time by just small number of RC team members. So I think if we are going to have like more than 400 participants next year as well, we are maintaining this plan until next year. However, we will make sure to have save the budget as much as we can so that we don't waste of our money. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have KMPSV, the Netherlands. Please take the floor.
Hello, KMPSV, Netherlands. So I want to congratulate you on the work done. Very sad that the World Congress couldn't take place, but one important remark for the future, could you please make sure to place all of the participants as BCC when you send email about the World Congress? This is for privacy reasons. We hope this can be written down in internal guidelines to prevent this from happening in the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your advice and suggestion, and I will directly forward your suggestion to our registration team as well, and also to my incoming chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have EPSF Egypt.
Yomna Alta from EPSF Egypt. Thank you so much for your efforts. I'd like to ask about the refund policy and procedures that will be taken for those who registered already. Thank you so much.
Can I get a clarification? Do you want to get an explanation how we reimburse the registration fee back to the participants?
Yes.
To answer your questions, actually, the reimbursement process has already been finished, actually, and all the participants have already received their registration fee back. And we collected their bank account information personally, and those who wants to save their transfer fee, they ask us to transfer the money back to their association account. So in that case, we collected the bank account information of their home association. And in that case, we transferred all the reimbursement fee all together to their host association. And then after that, they, like the host association, distribute and transfer domestically their registration fee back to the participants. I hope this answers to your questions. And if you have further more questions, please let me know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have FOP Nepal.
Thank you. This is Savita Ramal from FOP Nepal. As you had faced a time of adversity led by COVID-19 pandemic, so what would you like to suggest to all the organizers and host countries who are hosting the IPSF symposium and events next year? Any learnings from your side so that they could have some strong points to do? Thank you.
Thank you for your questions, and that was really a good question, I think. Because this year, the COVID-19 situation was absolutely unexpected to everyone. But however, we are currently experiencing these difficulties and these problems, pandemic still go on. In this case, we need to consider several possible options at the same time, which means I think the host association needs to consider several options, such as hosting the Congress in face-to-face method. At the same time, they need to consider to have like virtual Congress at the same time, because the chances are the COVID-19 will still go on until next year. So I will suggest them to consider and think about the several possible scenarios so that they cannot be panicked if something happens. I think it helps better next year, until next year. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. So I don't see any other points. Okay, should we proceed to voting? Ryan and Joao, do we have Nemo vote ready for this? Okay, so we have Nemo vote open. Please, everyone proceed with voting. Thank you. We are missing CFARM, NUSPS, and CAPSA Kenya. NUSPS, you are the only one missing now. Do we have representatives from Singapore? Okay, do we have everyone now or we're still missing Singapore? Ryan, can I have a confirmation? Okay, so Singapore, are you facing any technical issues with the NEMO vote?
Hello, sorry, I voted. I've just voted. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. All right, we have the results. Can I have the results on the screen, please, Yelena? All right, motion 33, the 66th IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the report of the chairperson of the reception committee of the 66th IPSF World Congress 2020. Congratulations, Minjin, and the results can be seen on the screen. If you would like to say some few words, please do take the floor.
Thank you very much, all official delegates and observers and all team members. Thank you very much once again, and I hope to see you guys soon. Somewhere in the world that after the COVID-19 settles down. For your information, this IPS Exco, this mandate is planning to have reunion someday, and I hope all of them can join together. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Minjin. Next year in Korea, hopefully. All right. Next motion, motion 34. We will be now discussing the financial report of the chairperson of the reception committee of the 66th IPSF World Congress. So I'm not sure, do we have a presentation or? Yelena?
Yelena, IPSF Secretary General. This is the report of the financial stuff that Minjin submitted. So if you have any questions, just open the floor.
Okay, so we don't have a presentation on this. So if you, I hope that you got the chance to read through the report, and I will now proceed directly and open the floor for discussion. If you have any points, please do submit them through the Google form. Okay, I see none. I close the floor for discussion and we proceed to voting. Ryan, can I have a confirmation if you have NEMO vote ready?
Ryan Exiko, yes, the NEMO vote is open.
Okay, thank you. Okay, everyone, we're still missing 10 member organization. Please vote as soon as you can. Okay, we're missing Thailand, Sierra Leone, Kenya, and I'm not sure who's the last one. Okay, we're missing Estonia now. Representatives from Estonia, are you in the room? Can I have a confirmation? Okay. Are you facing technicalities with the voting? Because we did not receive your vote yet. Estonia? Okay, can you please state your technical? We still have 1 minute remaining for the voting. If you're facing any technical issues with Nemo vote, please make sure you refresh and try again. Okay, I think we have everyone now. Can we have the results on the screen? Yelena, please. Okay, motion 34. The 66th IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the financial report of the chairperson of the reception committee of the 66th IPSF World Congress 2020. 51 in favor. Congratulations, Minjin, one more time, and to the all reception committee. Okay. Okay, motion 35, the report of the chairperson of the reception committee of the 66th IPSF World Congress 2021. Do we have the chairperson here present?
I'm the chairperson of the 66th World Congress upcoming next year. She wants off. Can I share my screen?
Yes. So.
Can you guys can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
May I begin now?
Yes, please start.
Dear General Assembly, I'm the chairperson of the 66th World Congress upcoming next year. I'm going to share the progress of next year's World Congress so far. You can find more details in the progress report booklet. Content of presentation is now shown on screen. Our reception committee consists of 13 leaders. These are our reception committee members who will be cooperating with the IPSF Exco from now on. I will make sure an efficient environment. Sorry?
Sorry, Song. Everyone, can you please make sure that you mute your microphones so we don't have any background noise? Thank you so much. You can continue.
Okay, thank you. These are our reception committee members who will be cooperating with the IPSF Exco from now on. I will make sure an efficient environment is formed for active communication. Dongguk University was selected as the venue of the Congress last year, and this will be maintained for the World Congress 2021. It's located in the city center of Seoul and is close to the subway station. Most of the events such as GA, symposium, and workshop will be held in the Seoul campus of Dongguk University. All participants will be staying at the same hotel, Sky Park Dongdaemun 1. This hotel is 4-star grade with an individual restroom and a free Wi-Fi. Also, participants will be moving to the venue by foot, which will take about only 10 to 15 minutes. We are considering Brand Ambassador Hotel for opening and gala banquet. We are planning on providing standard vegetarian meals for former and standard vegetarian halal meals for the latter. For breakfast, simple meal boxes consisting of a sandwich and drink will be provided. For lunch and dinner, standard Korean and vegetarian meals will be served at the cafeteria of Dongguk University. The maximum vacancy for leaders in training is 24, including trainers, and we are expecting to invite 410 participants for total, and around 80 participants are expected to join in the post-Congress tour. This is the fixed schedule of the World Congress. Leaders in training will be held from 22nd to 26th of July for 5 days, where Congress will be held from 26th of July to 4th of August for 10 days, and post-Congress tour will be held from 4th to 7th of August for 4 days. The main theme of the 2021 World Congress is transforming pharmacists' role, improving the quality of life through healthcare innovation. Aligning with the main theme, the topic of the educational symposium is threats or opportunities leading the way toward patient safety through innovative platforms for patients' education. The topic of the scientific symposium is about pharmacogenomics. This is the tentative schedule of the World Congress concerning the time and content arrangement being realistic. The official program for the World Congress ends on the 3rd of August with gala night. The next day, participants will check out from the hotel and consecutively the post-Congress tour will begin. This is our registration fee for leaders in training, World Congress, and post-Congress tour. Registration fee for LIT is 200 euros. For World Congress, phase 1, 460, phase 2, 510, and phase 3 is 550 euros. The registration fee for post-Congress tour will be approximately 310 euros. Moving on to the budget, as for income, we're expecting 300 registration for phase 1, 40 for phase 2, and 14 for phase 3. Therefore, we're expecting to collect 166,000 euros from the fees and around 23,000 euros from balance from RC of last year and 33,000 euros from sponsorship to be raised. Most of the budget will be used for accommodation and food. And this is the budget for LIT. For PC Post-Congress Tour, we will be visiting Seoul and Gwangju. As widely known, Seoul is the capital city of Korea. Gwangju is a lovely city stuffed to the gills with history. Please refer to the presentation for the tentative schedule of the Post-Congress Tour. This is a night view of Gwangju City. This picture is sunset view of Gwangju City. These are the sponsorship that we have settled so far, and there are also sponsorship currently underway. I am sure the most of the official delegates are curious about the policies that we are planning for COVID-19. This table explains the tentative measure that we will be taking. The first and the foremost policies that we will be following are those of the government and the university that provides the venue. These measures are based on the opinion which were given during the meeting among our World Congress reception committees. The hosting of the Congress will be further discussed with the IPSF expos simultaneously. Updating the situation of the COVID-19. If the offline events have to be cancelled, we believe that such a decision must be made before March of 2021. In this case, online symposium and events can be considered for Plan B. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. We believe we can overcome this difficult time around the world, and our reception committee hopes to see you all in Korea next year. If you have any questions about the presentation or the progress report, please do not hesitate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Song, and for this very supportive team behind you who are taking videos. Okay. We will now open the floor for discussion. Can I have the system back on the screen? Okay, first point, we have BPSA United Kingdom. Please take the floor.
Sebastian, BPSA United Kingdom. This is more a question and clarification. You said that there was some sort of decision deadline about quarantine in March. So does that mean you're going to wait till March to open the registration, or is it going to be open in January as it was last year? Thanks.
Song, you can answer.
I think this problem is related to our government's decision. So I think, we guess 14 days of quarantine should be stopped, should be lifted until March, we hope. Thank you.
Okay, next. Clarification from BPSA UK. Take the floor.
Sebastian, BPSA UK. Sorry, I don't think you answered my question. Will you wait till the decision deadline that you have set about quarantine until March to open registration, or will you open registration in about January time? Thank you.
Jion, you can answer.
Okay. I think we'll, if the I think we will wait until March if the quarantine is lifted or not until March, because as this year, as last year, we already opened all registration. Yeah, registration on January. So like I think we will do same as next year. Thank you.
Okay, next we have KMPSV the Netherlands. Please take the floor.
Henrik KMPC the Netherlands. So thank you for your presentation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought the last time there were 444 spots and this time 410. Why did this change? Thank you.
We reduced our maximum participants number because we consider COVID-19, and because of COVID-19, I think we could have some visa problem or other some unexpected problems. So we reduced about 100 people, 30 participants. Thank you.
Okay, next we have KNAP's Republic of Korea. All right, dropped. Do we have any other points? Please submit your points through the Google form. I have a direct from BPSA UK. Please take the floor.
Asking people to say UK, yeah, it's just a direct to Henrik's question and the answer. Was there actually like a rationale for reducing it? Because 30 seems a bit like an arbitrary like number, you know. What is the rationale for that? Thank you.
Gion, was it clear?
Yes. Thank you. Could you make it a little bit more clear, please?
Okay. Why reduce by 30, but not reduce by more than 30 or less than 30? Like, what was the actual reason for choosing 30? Thank you.
Because we reduced about 30 people to accommodate about 400 people in the same hotel. That's the practical reason, actually. Thank you.
Okay, can we go back to the new comment list? This needs to be updated. Can we update the list, please? I don't see any other points because, yeah. So I don't see any further points on this. Is the General Assembly comfortable with proceeding on voting on this report? All right. Ryan, can I have a confirmation if NEMO vote is ready?
It's echo, the vote is open. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're still missing CFARM, Serbia, Sierra Leone, SNAPS, and BBSA. Okay. Now we're missing Sierra Leone and SNAPS. Okay, SNAPS, we still have around 2 minutes left. Okay, we're now only missing NAPSA Sierra Leone. Can I have a confirmation if you have any representatives from Sierra Leone in the room? Sierra Leone? One last time, I'm calling for representatives from Sierra Leone. Okay, so unfortunately, we will have to take the voting rights from NAPSA Sierra Leone. And Ryan, can you close the voting?
The thing we do in the past. Then the thing we do after that, now the thing we can.
All right, can we have the results on the screen, please? Okay, so motion 35, the 66th IPSF General Assembly accepts and adopts the report of the chairperson of the reception committee of the 66th IPSF World Congress 2021. You can see the voting results on the screen. Congratulations, G1 and the reception committee, and we're looking forward for a very successful World Congress next year, hopefully.
Thank you, everyone. I hope to see you guys next year. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Can I have the next motion, or we're proceeding with election? Yelena, can you confirm? Yelena?
Yelena, IPSF Secretary General. Not sure if G1 already left or if she's still here. Because yeah, if you're still here, we usually do the co-opting onto the executive committee at the end of the elections. But because of your time availability, we will do the co-option onto the executive committee now. Okay. So this will be the next motion.
Okay, motion 36 reads, this is the 66th IPSF General Assembly. Okay. So co-opt Ms. Jion Song, chairperson of the 66th IPSF World Congress 2021, onto the IPSF Executive Committee. I would like to open the floor for discussion. I see none. I close the floor for discussion and we'll proceed to voting. Do we have Nemo vote ready for this one?
And Etiko, the Nemo vote is open.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, we still have 6 associations missing. Missing association, we have NZAPSO New Zealand, Sierra Leone, EPSA, PANS Nigeria, and FEFERMEX Mexico. And we have Sierra Leone because we got a confirmation that they were in the room. So Sierra Leone, are you in the room? This is the last chance. Otherwise, we will have to take you out of the voting list. All right. So, okay. So now only PANS Nigeria. PANS Nigeria, do we have representatives from PANS Nigeria? Any representatives from PANS Nigeria? PANS Nigeria, if you are in the room, can you please share with us if you're facing any technical issues? We still did not receive your voting. Okay. Can we have the results on the screen? All right, Yelena. Okay, motion 36 reads, this the 66th IPSF General Assembly co-opts Ms. Ji-on Song, chairperson of the 66th IPSF World Congress 2021 onto the IPSF Executive Committee 2020-21. This shall be achieved immediately and shall not be reviewed. Congratulations, Ji-on.
Thank you so much. See you next year.
Thank you. All right. I think we will continue with elections now. Yelena? Can I have the next election on order? Okay. We will now have the election of the chairperson of Student Exchange. We received 3 applications from Ms. Anyong Go, Fellow, and Jilan. Can I have a confirmation if the 3 candidates are in the room? Okay, Jilan. All right. I will now open the floor for discussion. First, I have a point of information from GPSA Ghana. Please take the floor.
Isaac, GPSA Ghana. I just wanted, I don't know whether this is a point of information, but Noma Pelo's name has been spelled wrongly.
GPSA Ghana, is it a correction of the name of Nemafello, right? All right, Yelena, can we help with that? Apologies. Is this correct? Can Nemafello confirm? Perfect. So thank you for the information. I will now open the floor for discussion. Please submit your point through the Google form. Okay, first point, CAPSI Canada, please take the floor.
Sophia, CAPSI Canada. My question is, SEP is a portfolio that was heavily impacted by COVID-19. So considering that the pandemic is still unpredictable, is your plan for the mandate flexible enough to give MOs freedom with SEP while also putting the health and safety of students at the forefront of your platform? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. First, we will start with Anyango. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, but if you can state your name at the beginning, I will learn them, I promise. So.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Anyango. So you're perfectly okay. Yeah, so thank you so much, Sophia, for your question. I think my plan for SEP is quite flexible. Yeah, so I think for me, I think considering COVID, I think just being flexible enough for those guys who can actually, you know, go for SEP, then they can go for SEP, but those who can't, then they can utilize the online platform. So I think that's flexibility enough. So I think that's would be my answer to your question. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Noma Fellow.
Hello, can you hear me, Aya?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Sophia, for your question. I think my plan for this position is quite flexible because I do think that the actual part where students actually do the exchange travel from one country to the other is just a tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of work that can still be done even if the pandemic still continues in the following year, like the promotion and training. I feel like a lot of work can be done without actually the actual exchanges, because I do think that it's important that to consider the health and safety of the students, because without them, then there isn't SEP. Thank you.
Okay, proceeding with Jilan, please take the floor.
Thank you, Sophia, for your question. I do agree with the Nomapelo and Anyango with what they said. Yes, my plan is flexible, and actually one of my priorities is COVID-19 situation itself, is to do like a wide observation and to use in cooperation with the SEO to know what they want to do, what do they think about the situation from the beginning of the mandate, with the continuation of the follow-up and assessing the situation with them, and of course safety and health of the students is the first priority. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next from on the list, KMPSV the Netherlands, please take the floor.
Henrik, KMPSV Netherlands. So thank you for your applications. I was this question, what's the plan of the candidates to do about the more inactive SEOs and the member organizations who don't participate in SEP yet, especially now when SEP, we don't know if it can take place in real life. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will start with Nomapelo. Please take the floor.
Thank you for the question, Hendrik. So I do think that my plan is not only designed for this pandemic, but also it could be used and be very effective in this pandemic, because my plan is to ensure that we treat the member organizations or the SEOs on a one-on-one basis, which is one of the plans that I have, to have one-on-one meetings with the SEOs to ensure maximal participation in the program, and also involve the association as a whole, especially for those associations that are struggling, those that have just rejoined the program, in order to ensure that everyone in that association is able to support the SEO. And even if the SEO is not around, there can be someone who takes part because they do know what's happening in SEP. So thank you so much.
Okay, next we have Jilan, but she has a technical. KMPSV the Netherlands. Can you repeat your question?
Yes, Henrik, KMPSV the Netherlands. So I was asking about the plan of the candidates to do about the more inactive SEOs and the member organizations who don't participate in SEP yet, especially now when SEP, we don't know if SEP can take place in real life. Thank you.
Okay, Jilan.
Thank you, Henrik, for your question. Well, I think that COVID-19 is actually a bless for this member organization who are not active in SEP, because we can know why they are inactive in SEP, or what is the reason behind they are not joined yet. So this year, or like this period, can be served as like a time to plan and to know the reasons behind their inactivity, and to encourage them more, and maybe assist them with trainings and assist them with like one-to-one meetings, as Nomapelo said, and any tools that they want to ensure that when SEP gets on its feet again for the next years, they will be ready and we will all benefit. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyango, your turn.
Okay, thank you so much, Henry, for your question. So, I mean, aside from just finding out, just an analysis about why exactly they don't participate in SEP, I think it would also be a really nice thing for those of us who really benefited from SEP, to talk to SEOs and tell them why SEP is really important, and, the possibilities within SEP. So, I mean, just aside from doing an analysis, I think it would be really nice to, give them a sort of inspiration and motivation to participate more in SEP, because of the opportunities that is available for them, when they participate in SEP. So thank you.
All right. Next we have IPSF Peru.
Hugo, IPSF Peru. What is your plan to increase the participation of American countries? And if you have any different project or for promote and train different from we have been done this month? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will start with Jilan. Jilan.
Okay. Thank you, Hugo, for your question. I don't actually know if I do understand it well, but if you think about increasing the participation of the Latin American countries, I'm not sure, or you mean the region itself, like the Paro region? Can I just get a clarification about the question? Okay, so I do think that this year, Ms. Shams had just released, we just released the SEO and LAO training manuals translated in Spanish. So this is really a good start for like knowing the basics of the work. Next year, we can do more translation of other guidelines and maybe promotional guidelines. And I do think that from the beginning of the mandate with training with training sec and other with training sec, we will help SEOs who have problems with like promotion and so on to know more about how to solve these problems. I'm not sure. I think that this is more of a general problem about promotion, but yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Anyango.
Thank you, Hugo, for your question. So currently, I don't have like a plan, an exact plan, but I think the best thing to do would be to work with the SEC committee to really identify the regions that are struggling, as SEOs, and just develop a formulator plan that can help support them. So I think that would be my best answer to your question. Thank you.
Okay, Noma Fellow, please take the floor.
Thank you, Hugo, for the question. I think my plan is really exactly that. As I've mentioned in my nomination form, that I'll be meeting associations and SEOs where they are. By that, I mean attending to their specific needs and wants in this program in order for them to thrive. So even for the Latin American countries or associations, my plan remains the same, to work with the regional offices and the professional development portfolio to provide these trainings for these regions to ensure that they're able to participate fully, and also using the SEC buddy program to ensure that we are able to communicate effectively in the languages that they understand, the SEOs, I mean. Thank you so much.
Okay, I think we have the three answered. Next we have NAFSA Sierra Leone.
Okay, Noah Sise, NAFTA Sierra Leone. My question is, what mechanism or what new ideas do you have to increase inter-regional, or let's say SEP within the same region, and especially SEP within Anglophone and Francophone countries? Because from experience, I've seen a very less participation between SEP from one Anglophone countries to another Francophone country within the same region. So what mechanism do you have to put in place to see how to get increased participation with that regard? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will start from the beginning again. Anyango, please take the floor.
Thank you so much, Noah, for your question. So the mechanism that I have, number one, is apart from just increasing, like translation and, having more sessions, in French and, in English, so that just like Francophone countries can relate to the sessions. I think collaborating SEP events with other portfolios, I think, is a very good initiative, just so that we can have more ideas on how to support Francophone countries and Anglophone countries. So apart from translations, I think just cooperating with other IPSF portfolios would be a really nice thing to do, for other associations. Thank you. For other Francophone countries. Thanks.
Okay, Noma Fellow.
Thank you, Noah, for your question. So one thing I've learned from my year serving in SAP as SEO and also in SAC is that most African countries, we associations have a problem where a large number of students don't even know about SAP. And I think that's where it starts. We can't expect people to participate in a program they don't even know about, especially when they also have to spend money on it. So promotion is very important in the African continent, including both the Francophone and the Anglophone countries. So that's where we start. And also another problem is money. So when we do these trainings with the Afro associations, it would be important to ensure that we make them see how else they can source funding to support their students. Because the SEP grant is not always enough and it's not for everyone. Not everyone can benefit from it. So that's where we can start. Thank you.
Okay, Jilan.
Thank you, Noah, for your question. I do agree with Anyango and Pillow with what they said, that promotion and translation is very important to get SEOs to know more about the program itself so they can be able to disseminate this information to the students. But if you are talking specifically about the outgoing students who are doing exchange from Anglophone to Francophone or vice versa, so I think this depends on the SEOs themselves, and we have to guide them well on how to help their students to choose their destinations right. I hope that I got your question. Thank you.
Okay. Next on the list, we have KNAP's Republic of Korea. Please take the floor.
Lucy Kenneth, Republic of Korea. Hello everyone. I have question about SCP grant, which is financial support for SCP participants, and it stopped this year. But because of COVID-19 pandemic, both incoming students and outgoing students of KNFs actually needed bigger financial budget and seemed very pressured. So personally, I think pandemic is the most important time we need to financially support SCP students. So do you have any plans to arrange SCP grant during your mandate? Thank you.
Okay, we have Noma Fellow first.
Thank you, Lucy, so much for your question. I think the grant is important. It's something that should be maintained even during my mandate should I become chairperson of student exchange. But also, as I've just mentioned, that it is important that we also support the associations and also the SOs in order to work together and find out how else they can source funding nationally to support their students. Because like I said, we can have the SEP grant and it's important that we still maintain it to help those in need, but it's important that we also acknowledge the fact that we need more than just the SEP grant. We need other sources. We need to look where else we can get money in order for more students to be able to participate in the program. And that's what I plan to do to work with the SEOs. Thank you.
Okay, Jilan.
Thank you, Lucy, for your question. Well, I do agree with Noafello that the grant is something that has to be maintained like always. And I do agree with you that at the pandemic, some students have gone into some hardships. So maybe the grant is a way to help them do SEP. So yes, if we are meant to continue with SEP for the next year and we have like participating students, so I think that we will continue with the grant. Maybe we can add some new not new criteria, but add to the criteria itself to maybe help specifically these students. But I think that these arrangements are done with the treasurer and the grant coordinators as far as I do think. So I cannot make a statement or give my opinion without consulting both of them and also consulting SEC. Thank you.
Okay, and Yango?
Thank you, Lucy, for your question. And just in addition to just the grants that are normally already available for students who want to participate in SEP, I think one of my plans was to find a way to promote SEP to other professionals in just a bid to attract more people, potential sponsors for SEP. Yeah, so I wouldn't want to belabor what Nomapelo and Jilan has said, but I think in addition, I'd really want to find ways in which we can promote SEP out there, to attract possible funders, to just promote students who may not be financially capable of sponsoring themselves. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Isma Farsi, Indonesia. Please take the floor.
Okay, Gina Isma Farsi, Indonesia. I have one question. How to optimize the execution of SAP if any organizations are doing it online, and your strategies for this? Thank you.
Okay, so this time we'll start with Jilan.
Can I get more clarification about optimization? What do you mean by optimization of SAP, virtual SAP? I don't know what you want exactly. Yes.
Okay, optimization like to increase participant or etc. Your plan.
Okay, yeah. If I do get your question, thank you first, Gina, for your question. If I do understand your question right about increasing the participation of virtual SEP, I do believe that this year was a great start for the virtual SEP and that most SEOs have excelled in that. So if we do I do think that from the beginning of the mandate, we should put like case scenarios if the COVID-19 situation is going to like persist. So maybe we can encourage like SEOs from the beginning of the mandate. If you think that virtual SEP is going to do good for you, you have to start that. And I think that this year we do have great examples, and we can get these SEOs to give feedback for the next mandates SEOs about how to do the virtual SEP and about the feedbacks about the virtual SEP and anything that they can like help them with. And I do believe that this might increase the participation because this will increase the promotion for the member organization itself. Thank you.
Okay. Next we have Anyango.
So thank you so much for your question. So how to increase participation in virtual SEP? I think number one would be flexibility, to make virtual SEP an option for SEOs, but also to make the guidelines flexible, so that they can suit it to their own needs. Yeah. So just because a rigid structure would really limit SEOs and they wouldn't know how to participate. So flexibility on that, and possibly incentives for participating in virtual SEP, so that, if you participate in SEP, then you do 1, 2, 3 things. I mean, or rather you get this 1, 2, 3 things. So flexibility in the guidelines, and number two, possible incentives for the SEOs who actually take this initiative. Thank you.
Okay, Nomapelo.
Thank you for the question. I think this mandate, the virtual SEP was a really great idea. And also the SEOs, they've actually worked very hard at putting together the guideline for the virtual SEP. And I think it is important that should we go forward in this time of pandemic, it is important that we ensure that the students can actually participate in SEP. So I feel like currently the virtual SEP is like just introductory, but it is also important to ensure that students, while they are in their home countries, they can still participate, say, in a research. If you wanted to go to Indonesia, you can then participate in a research with whoever was going to be your supervisor during your SEP while you are in your home country, and also do some case studies. If you were going to be in a clinical pharmacy in the UK, you are able to do that while you are in your home country. So I think more participation, and also, yeah, that's it. More participation actually doing the work. Thank you.
Okay, next we have HMF AP ITP Indonesia.
Hello, this is Irene, HMF AP ITP Indonesia. So it is actually quite similar to Isma Farsi's question. So for instance, as SEOs, we agreed to conduct online SEP because this is our first time. We agreed to conduct online SEP, but because this is our first time to conduct this online SEP, what do you think will be the best promotion strategy you will promote to engage participation from all IPSF students to join our online SEP, because they will not experience the culture or real life experience of internship for the SEP, so there might be less participation. Thank you.
Okay, my apologies for missing the procedure motion. I will give you the floor after this one. Sorry once again. I will start with Anyango.
Okay, thank you so much, Irene, for your question. So I think my strategy for promotion would be to promote the associations that actually did SEP virtually this time round, and just to also encourage SEOs that, because this is something that's new, of course we expect that it's gonna pick up slowly, but it's gonna pick up eventually. Yeah. So my promotional strategy would be to, of course, use our various social platforms, but to include the associations that actually did SEP virtually this year, and maybe comments from those attending, to just give a summary, an expose of what they learned during that virtual SEP. So that would be my promotional strategy for SEP, going forward. Thank you.
Okay, Nomafilo.
Thank you, Irene, for your question. I think first it is important that we recognize this virtual SEP as actually SEP. Should we go forward with it? Recognize that it is SEP, it is an exchange program, even though it will be happening virtually, in the sense that even we give the participant certificates at the end of their SEP if they attend all the required sessions. And like I said, it's important that there's actually that learning component in it. So they can do the research online, they can do whatever that they wanted to do online, and also the SEOs can then mark them as successful or not successful in the database. So it's important that we first recognize this virtual SEP as an actual SEP for it to go forward and be able to promote it accordingly. Thank you.
Okay, Jilan.
Okay, thank you, Irene, for your question. Well, if you talk about the next mandates, if you as a member organization going to conduct the virtual SEP. So I think that we should take statistics and feedbacks from this year's member organization who have conducted a virtual SEP. So this information should be disseminated for SEOs as like the feedback for what happened, what do you think is the best way to promote virtual SEP, what was good, what wasn't like the best thing, and I do think that this information will help you to decide what do you want to do with your virtual SEP. And also another thing is that virtual SEP itself is a promotion for your member organization. It will and you as a member organization have the complete freedom to be creative on how to like promote it for everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. I have a procedure motion from PPSA Poland. Can you state your motion, please?
Natalia, PPSA Poland, I would like to propose a motion to close the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Seconded by PPHD Germany. We will now vote on this, and I will use the chat box. So I ask you kindly to vote one time, whether you're with closing the floor and proceeding to secret discussion or not. Please don't make it complicated on everyone. And I really don't want us to take it to NEMO vote, so please cooperate on this. Okay, so all those against closing the floor for discussion and proceeding to secret discussion? Okay, so no more voting. I will not vote after this line. Motion committee, help. Let's try to do this. All those for closing the floor for discussion. Please make sure that everyone is voting, full members. We will try to count. Obvious. All members, please make sure that you're all voting on this. If you already voted no, please do not vote again. All right, so according to the counting by the Secretariat and Motion Committee, we have 3 against, 46 for. Okay, can we have the final counting? Yelena?
Yelena, IPSF Secretary General. So according to the counting, we have 3 against and 46 for, which means 49 voted. So there are 2 left. We either Maps. Did you just vote? Yeah, Maps just voted.
Okay, so
if
we
there's
have
anyone else left, I don't know.
All right, we have 1. And for the sake of going forward, we will consider this vote as spoiled. We will take it as 47 for and 3 against. And the motion was carried. I close the floor for discussion and we proceed to the secret discussion. So Joao, can we make sure that we have the 3 candidates in the breakout room? Recording on.